All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Clash of Cultures. We're coming at y'all with the most highly anticipated video, probably of this week. We've been looking forward to this. This video has been pushed back a couple times. I don't know why you're making that face. You guys
You said the most highly anticipated video of this week.
Yeah, this is our fourth episode recording this week, third or fourth. I know you ain't been here. You've been flaking on us, but we've been going strong the last week, man.
What are you talking about?
Everybody in the comments knows you've been MIA. You've been MIA out here cruising and stuff. But yeah, we're doing the NBA all-time draft, as you guys can see by the title. We're supposed to have a few more guys in here tonight, but we only got the four of us, so this one's gonna be pretty fun. Just to get right into it, just to kind of explain what we're doing. So the four of us we're gonna do a draft. You got to choose a team from each era. Then your sixth man can come from any era, and then a head coach. Then at the end, we'll kind of discuss who has the best roster overall and fit wise and stuff, and kind of just talk basketball. But how you guys doing today?
Doing well,
good, bro. You're doing
Good.
I actually prepared for the 2010s and the 2020s, so that should be easier now that
I prepared for a lot of this. So
Yeah.
hopefully.
All right.
I ain't have to prepare. This is all I'm freestyling.
Okay.
All first verse. You know what I'm saying?
So
Top of the dome.
we're gonna figure out the draft order right now. So do y'all want to go from 4 to 1 or 1 to 4?
1 to 4 and then snake back.
No, I'm saying like when I spin, do you want this person to have the last pick or the first pick?
Oh, 4 first.
Okay. All right. So the last pick. Okay.
I mean, one first.
No, don't change that. All right. So my dad got the last pick.
All right, last. Okay.
Third pick. I low-key want the second or the third. All right, Preston got the third
Looks like
pick.
it's Preston.
All right, hopefully I get the second. I don't want the first pick because
I don't want the first pick either,
You
bro.
don't pick again
The
for a
first
while.
pick is easy.
I know, but then you don't pick for a long time.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So I got the second pick. All right, so let me put in our names here. So it was Edgar, me, Preston. All right. All right, and so when we do this draft, I know those of you guys who watch the rapper or the music one, we went 90s, 2000s, 2010s. On your first pick, you could pick anywhere on the board. You don't have to choose in that specific area, just so you can fill your team out the way you want to fill it out. So Edgar, with the first pick, who you got?
All right, bro. With the first pick,
Say the era too. So that way we make sure we're on the same page here.
we're going 2010s. We're going with the GOAT, LeBron James. First pick,
LeBron
baby.
first?
Yes, sir. First pick.
Why'd you say it like that's
crazy.
Why is
you
that
got to
crazy?
put it? That's his small forward.
Oh yeah, obviously small forward.
Wait, why'd you say it like that though, Dad?
Like what? Like I mean, I did. You know, obviously it's 1 or 2, but I thought we would have went. The GOAT.
Okay.
All right,
He hasn't seen our top 10 players list, so
No, he saw. I think he saw it. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So this is a no-brainer for me, obviously. I mean, I'm gonna be honest though. I would have went LeBron first as well. But that's just me. But I'm gonna go with the second GOAT. I'm gonna go with MJ here.
Yo, Allen, don't do that to Mike. Come on now, 6 rings. Come on.
I'm gonna label it guard.
I mean,
He's a shooting
second
guard.
place. That's still
I'm
good. He's
labeling
on
it
the
guard
podium.
until I fill my team out. Because he might be
See,
a wing for me.
This is
I
what
might
I'm
be-
talking about. Because
I might
Michael
play small
Jordan ain't
ball.
a point guard, so don't try to
he
put him
never
in
he's
the
not- he's not a point guard. He's not a point guard.
He ain't never.
I'm saying,
Michael
don't try
Jordan
to.
has never
Oh, I
played
want to
no
get
small
another
forward
guard,
in his
and then I'm
life.
gonna put him at point guard.
No, I'm not gonna put him at point guard, but he might play wing for me. So I might have 3 guards. I might draft like for example, let's say I end up with Clay. He's another shooting guard, but I could put Clay at the wing. So that's why I'm not gonna put shooting guard. It's positionless basketball, man. LeBron playing point, Jokic bringing the ball up. Come on, bro. All right. Anyways,
Y'all get
Preston,
20 already.
huh?
Go ahead, Preston.
Preston, let's hear it, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Shaq.
Ooh, that's who I wanted.
Okay. In 2000s or
Yeah.
Yeah, 2000. His prime. We'll call it.
all right.
All right. I'm gonna go 70s and below Kareem with my first pick. And obviously, as we snake, so that's my center. And as we snake, I'm gonna go. Give me my 10s or later. I'm gonna go Durant.
Ooh,
Mm,
And where do you
great
want him?
pick.
Just
So
put
you
him
go
at
forward?
forward for now.
Forward?
I'll see how it plays out.
I'm like, bro, you can't just put an F. You got to write out forward.
Yeah, I know you're doing it.
I can, I
Boy,
guess.
Wildin', come on.
Yeah, and then for you,
I
this
swear
man
that
put
looks
guard
weird.
on his.
KDF, that looks weird for some reason.
Bro,
You know what it means?
you will fix it.
All right, bro. Come on, bro.
Preston.
I will take. Let me go with Steph. I'm gonna take Steph at point.
It's a
That's
great
Shaq and
pick.
Steph is nasty.
We about boy. Imagine Steph running off of a Shaq pick.
You want me to put
That
guard?
would
You want me
be
to put point guard?
crazy.
You can put PG.
All right. Let me. As you guys are grabbing people, let me make sure I'm taking them off my list so that way I don't name people and have to keep looking up. So Kareem's gone. Jordan's obviously gone.
LeBron.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about LeBron, but I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, I said it. I told Steven, bro, if I get the first pick, I'm getting LeBron.
But y'all wildin'. What?
Okay.
That's a no-brainer. He's the best all-around player ever.
He is the best all-around player. I will
Yes, sir.
absolutely. I will give him that.
That's how you get the NBA fans. You just gotta say the all-around part, and they can't say nothing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with this one, I'm gonna go 80s.
I thought he said AD.
No,
Damn.
80s.
Lock him
80s.
in.
And I'm gonna go Magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, Mike and Magic. That's nice. My problem though is I think Magic will have a hard time guarding some of the faster guards.
That's why I went
That's
ahead.
why you got
and took
Jordan.
Curry
That's why you
off
got.
the board.
That's why you got Jordan out there, boy.
Jordan
All right.
ain't chasing Steph around.
All right,
All right.
Ed, you got
for my
back-to-back
next-
picks.
For my next pick, I'm gonna go with. I need a guy that can defend. So when I was talking to Steven, I think the 4 is very a very hard position because I think there's only like I would say 4 power forwards that are above and beyond. So
Wait a minute. You could Duncan, Karl Malone, Nowitzki, Garnett.
and Garnett. That those are it for me. Like out of like those are the 4 that I would ever consider.
Okay, okay.
So no disrespect to Sir Charles, obviously.
Come
But,
on, that's my guy.
I'm gonna go with Timmy on this next pick.
Oh, so you want Duncan right now?
Yes, I want Duncan right now.
What is Duncan 2000?
Arguably the greatest power forward of all time.
You know the real, and I've heard this argument a lot. Duncan actually spent more time at center than he did power forward.
That's because the NBA went small.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he actually played center more than he played power forward.
But when he was playing with David Robinson,
no.
he was the power forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he got caught up in the transition of those eras.
And then on this next pick, I am going to go with my 70s and below. I'm gonna take Dr. J on this pick.
I like Dr. J. I like that pick. I didn't know you knew about that, Edgar. I didn't know you knew about Dr. J.
He played
as a
played
guard.
both. Yeah.
Guard forward, yeah.
You want to try to just put wing, or you may put guard?
Put him at shooting guard, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna take Dr. J on this pick. Arguably, I think when you ask a lot of players, he was way before his time. But I mean, if you ask Jordan, that was his favorite player coming into the league. So,
all right, with this one, all right, I know who I'm taking there. This is where it gets tough.
Bro, I thought y'all did your homework and all that.
I got a whole list, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do my team here.
Hurry up. I already got my next two picked out.
Yeah, I know mine.
So my 2000s pick is gonna be Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Great pick. Great
Garnett's
pick.
nasty. Garnett's nasty.
Like I said, bro, there's only.
Go ahead, Preston, because that means I'm getting one of the players I want, no matter what.
I mean, you got back to back, so you might get them both.
Yeah, hey, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping I get them back. I hope I get them both.
Give me
If I get them both, I win.
give me Larry Bird.
Damn, that's one of my two. That's one of my two.
My small forward.
You got me there. All right, and again, I think we could probably talk about this, but I'm going to put him in 2000s. My 2000 pick, give me Bean.
Good pick.
Well, I can't believe y'all waited this long for
Bean.
So,
I already got a 2000.
Not necessarily. I have the guy who's better than him at that position. I didn't need him.
I mean, but you picked him second. I'm picking what picking we like?
What do you mean I picked him second? Oh, well, I mean that's what I'm saying. I didn't need that position. That's
no. I respect you not picking him. I'm saying everybody else who needed a guard. All right, you kind of fucked me up because I thought I would get Larry Bird. So with my 80s, or we could talk 80s or 90s. I'm gonna say 90s pick. I'm gonna pick Karl Malone.
Okay.
Good pick.
At power forward?
Yeah, he's gonna play power forward.
And you're gonna put KD at the 3?
KD's gonna go to the 3.
Preston?
Never mind. I'm gonna go with let's go with Pippen.
That's a great pick, bro. I had him on my list too. But
at what, power forward? Or you want to just have him at wing?
You can put Larry Bird. Larry Bird played power forward a little.
Well, that's
bit
what I was about to say. Can you put him at small and Bird at power?
Yeah, he played. Damn, I thought I was gonna get Bird and Bryant.
Okay.
Hey, you better get that 70s pick out the way right now, bro.
No, there's two guys in the 70s.
Yeah, he's probably good. Yeah.
Well, I got guys in the 70s. I know. Yeah.
Because you got to remember, you still got to look at your positions.
Yep.
So I'm trying to think. Because I think I can play this guy here. Yeah, I'm gonna play this guy here. I'm gonna take Giannis, and I'm putting him at the 3.
Ew.
That's a weird.
You're crazy.
Giannis has never played the 3 in his life.
Look it up.
Yeah,
yes, he has. I just looked it up.
He came
He's played
in
thousands of minutes. He's played thousands of minutes as a 3.
He came in as a small forward.
I looked it up just to make sure I can pick
All
him.
I know is by the looks of it, your team is getting ran off the court.
But you see how big my team is?
That's what I'm saying.
What's Steph gonna do in Magic?
Off the court. They're not gonna be able to keep up.
Anyways, hey, Steph's a liability on that outside, bro.
Go ahead, Edgar. It's on Edgar.
Back-to-back picks.
All right. On my 90s pick, I'm gonna take the Dream. Elijah Wan. I'm gonna take Elijah Wan. And then 80s, I am going to take. I don't know if you guys even considered this guy. I think in that era he was probably the second best point guard behind Magic. I'm gonna take Isaiah Thomas.
Motherfucker. That's who I wanted. I thought I was gonna get Zeke. Damn.
That's what as soon as Magic was taken, I knew he was gonna be my guy running the show.
9 instead of a.
Oh.
Damn, now I gotta relook at fuck. What era am I missing?
All right, and with
You're
my
missing
70s and below,
Because that's
I'm-
where I thought I was putting Zeke.
I'm gonna take Bill Russell here.
Yes.
Okay. Preston's all like, I got my guy. Oh, I think I know who Preston getting.
I'm going with the logo.
I
I'm
Jerry
going
do
with
it,
the
bro.
logo.
That's a good pick.
Put them on there. A bucket.
You see, ain't no one
All right,
drafted
my
Elgin
first
Baylor
pick
in this
here-
one.
I'm gonna go a little untraditional, and give me Phil Jackson as my head coach.
Oh,
Wait, who's his?
he hasn't
You're
picked
leaving
that
off
yet.
your 80s for now.
Yeah,
He
no.
doesn't have to pick him yet.
And then, so everybody, and then give me a point guard 80s. Give me John Stockton.
Not bad.
Not what I wanted, but
Yeah, the top two got picked, so
well, I thought I was gonna slide and get my boy Zeke, but
okay. So for 6-man, are we doing real 6-man?
No,
no,
any
what do you wanna
it
do?
could be anybody. Yeah.
Okay. I had a whole list of 6-man up here, but let me
So whoever your next, best player.
let's see here. I'm gonna put give me Tracy McGrady.
That's a great pick.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put a position. I'll just put them.
Yeah.
I'm
taking Popovich here.
G Pop.
I already know y'all aren't gonna pick my coach, so I'm good with it. I'll leave that for last.
Who you gonna Edgar? Both you finish it out with your two.
Yeah.
So for my 6th man, I'm gonna go with the Big O.
Oscar Robinson. Okay.
And then for my coach, this is where it gets a little hard because obviously the two of my guys that I considered are taken. Give me. I mean, I don't know if he'll fit my play style, but give me Pat Riley as my head coach.
I like it.
The Godfather.
All right. With my 6-man, I'm in between two people right now.
Just pick one.
No, because I don't think you're going to get either of them, but I'm trying to.
Well,
see.
how can he get either when you're picking right now, bro?
No, I'm saying I think one of the guys he might want. But I'm gonna go Allen Iverson.
Y'all are wilding. Oh my goodness. Boy, y'all just let this fall to me the way I wanted to. Because he can't pick my guy. He got to pick a coach. Y'all, I cannot believe, boy, this is highway robbery. My 6-man.
Go ahead.
No, pick your coach.
All right, my coach. I'm gonna go with Ime Udoka.
No, that's correct.
They get my boy wrong.
That's a Christian pick. Hey, give me Wilt Chamberlain. How do y'all not pick Wilt Chamberlain?
I mean, I need.
I didn't forget about Wilt.
I didn't forget about Wilt.
You needed scoring. He scored off. He averaged 50 and 25. You can't get no more scoring. He's second all time in average points per game.
He was playing against plumbers.
Steven, he made your top 10 list, though,
I
bro.
understand that, but look at my team.
Bro, look
That's
at that
okay.
squad.
Yeah, I picked Shaq over him.
I'll take Shaq over him, but the fact that he's still around as a 6-man. Come on, there's not 4 centers better than him in league history.
There's not.
There's not.
But
yeah, but
I didn't need a center. I didn't need a center as my 6-man though.
Yeah, give me Wilt. I won. My team won.
There's no way, bro. You got John Stockton, the most overrated point guard ever.
John Stockton is a facilitator, plays
He's
good
the-
defense.
Yeah, he's
all-time,
arguably the greatest passer of all
all-time
time.
leader in steals. And I got him literally playing with the guy that he has the most comfort on anybody out of any team playing with Karl Malone running the pick and roll.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather have Steve Nash than John Stockton.
No, I'm taking and Stockton can knock down a jumper. And
Steve Nash
the difference
don't
is Steve
defend.
Nash plays no defense.
Yeah,
John
exactly.
Stockton was a
Steve
tough.
Nash was the better version. I mean, maybe not.
No, because Steve Nash played no defense.
Yeah,
Stockton
okay.
played tough D, all-time leader in steals. Come on. Don't sleep on Stockton. And he knocked down a jumper. And I got him with Karl Malone.
He was playing that plumber D. That plumber defense.
My team is just full of winners, man. We just got winners over here.
All right, let me look at y'all's teams.
Bro, I just got winners. I got
Allen Iverson
25.
never
I got
won
like
anything.
Okay.
Do you
he's
have the
only
most
one of my-
rings?
he's
You
the
probably
only
have
one
the
on my
most
team who
rings.
doesn't have.
Yeah, you
one.
have the most rings because obviously
Yeah,
just
'cause
Bill
Bill
Russell
Russell
might have
got
won.
25 rings. It's like
Rings.
25 rings over here, baby.
Yeah,
We're
Bill
not
Russell.
going off rings.
Yeah,
Come
we're not
on
going
now.
for
Wait a
rings, bro.
You can't not wilt from playing against plumbers while you took Bill Russell.
I'm
Bill
not
Russell
gonna
played when there was
lie.
only 6 teams in the league.
Yeah, but Bill Russell got 11
Steven's
chips.
team can't even hit a jump shot, so I'm really not worried
Yeah,
about
you
them.
got no shooters.
They got one guy.
But you know what I do got? The best shooting guard of all time, the best point guard of all time, the best coach of all time.
The best
Okay.
coach of all time
Greg
mean,
over
Popovich.
Phil Jackson.
Arguably.
That's arguable.
That is
That is
not arguable.
arguable.
Phil Jackson
Come
has
on,
way
bro.
more rings.
How many
Phil
rings does Phil
Jackson
have?
had the best players ever. Though.
He has 6 rings. How many does he have? Phil Jackson.
That's
How did
11.
he get 6? He got 6 with just the Bulls.
And
You
how
forgot
many?
he was the Lakers coach?
So
He
how
has
many rings?
5.
He has 11 rings.
He has 11 in total, bro.
Oh, okay. Greg Popovich has 5.
Yeah, there's a big difference between 11 and 5. There's a
Yeah.
big.
How many? And Bill Russell got 11 by himself.
Hey, I'm not knocking Bill, but
Jordan got 6.
Phil Jackson coached in the same era as Greg Popovich and has more rings than him.
Phil Jackson only coached until 2000 and what? 5? 4?
Yeah, but he
No.
coached in his era. No, he coached. No, because he won. He won the back.
He won the last one with Kobe.
He was the coach of the back-to-back with
Yeah.
the Lakers.
Yeah, but you made it seem like Phil Jackson during Popovich's run has had more rings than him. Popovich had what, 5 rings in a 10-year span?
Yeah, so did Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson had 6 rings in an 8-year span,
In the 90s.
and then he had 5
That's
rings.
I'm
in
just saying Popovich wasn't coaching at that time. That's my point.
No, at the end of that last ring, he was so he got the 1 ring with the Bulls. I don't know when Popovich started coaching.
Yeah,
I think
I'm just
I
saying
looked
during
it
that
up. I think
time,
it was
it's not like
96.
he won all 11 of those rings. While
So if he
Popovich
started
was
coaching in
first.
'96, that means Phil Jackson won 8 rings in Popovich's era.
Yeah, Popovich had 5.
Hey, you understand 8's more than 5, right?
Yeah, but it's not like John Stockton not having any or Karl Malone not having any.
You understand 8 is more than
Exactly.
We're
You
talking
got
about,
2 guys who don't even got a ring.
we're talking, but you're talking about how you bring other people. I'm talking about
They're
the
well,
fact
they're
that
part
I'm the
of your-
greatest coach.
They're
What
on
does
your team.
John
though.
Stockton have to do with the greatest coach?
They're on your team.
I am talking about. You said you have arguably the greatest coach. What does
Yes.
what that has to do with John
that's
Stockton?
arguable. That is
It
arguable.
is not arguable.
Well, you lost the argument. Let's just say that.
So he's not arguably the best coach of all time.
No, it's not even close. It's not even a conversation. Nobody has ever said Greg Popovich
I
is
just
better
did.
than Phil Jackson.
I
No,
just
They all-
did.
The only
I just
argument
did.
is that Phil Jackson had MJ and then he had Kobe, but he
Greg
was still a
Popovich
coach.
won
You
all games
can't-
with Tim Duncan. He had David Robinson. He had Tony Parker. Let's not act like he didn't have squads too.
Right.
He has multiple Hall of Famers for every one of those rings.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
5 rings. Bill Russell got 11. Jordan got 6. Magic got a
Again,
few.
my
Giannis
conversation,
got
the
1.
comment
KG got
was
1.
based on you
So
saying
Steven,
Greg
you're just
Popovich
basing this all on
was the
rings?
greatest coach. That was
Well,
the
I mean,
comment.
not just off of rings. Magic's the best point guard of all time. Michael Jordan is the best shooting guard of all time.
I don't know if I call Magic the greatest point guard of all time. I don't know. I think that's arguable. I think that's very arguable.
To who? To who?
I just
You could say there's a number of people. You could say
Who?
Steph.
Steph is not a better point guard than Magic Johnson, bro.
You
So
could say
on your top 10, Magic was higher than Steph.
On my top 10, yes.
So you believe he's a better player than Steph?
I said it is arguable. That's what I said.
Okay,
I
so
said it
okay,
is
let me ask you
arguable.
this. Okay, it's arguable, right? Who's a better player to you, Magic or Steph?
I said it's arguable.
I'm asking you a question. Who's a better player, Magic or
I
Steph?
have Magic higher than Steph.
All right then. So I don't care if it's
But
arguable.
Steph's
You
career isn't
believe
over.
you believe my guy is the best point guard of all time. You
Well,
believe that.
My point was that even if you have the best point guard of all time, what is that doing for your team?
Okay, so Magic is considered a top 5 player ever. In your eyes, in all 4 of our eyes.
Right.
Jordan is considered a top 5 player in all 4 of our eyes. So I got 2 top
That
5
don't
players.
mean they play well together.
Okay, well that's all hypothetical then. If we're saying that about everybody.
But that's
'Cause,
why, that's how we're drafting.
the only 2 players that you can say play good together are Stockton and Malone, and they didn't win a ring.
No.
So what do we? Who else played together on this list?
I'm not saying they played together. The hypothetical is how would they be able to play together given their roles?
Yeah, yeah.
What,
Michael
okay,
Jordan
so
was
I want you. This is what I want you to break down your team right now. Since we're talking
Well, I
hypothetical, break
mean,
down your team.
my team is just a bucket compared to yours. Like
Bro, you got 2 scorers.
Steph Curry
Oh,
can
Jordan-
shoot from anywhere
Okay,
on
wait,
the
wait a
court.
minute. What 2 players do you think are scorers on this team?
Bird and Steph.
So
Well,
Shaq's
you're
not a
wrong.
scorer?
Jerry West,
Jerry
No,
West
he's
is
not.
Jerry
He's
West?
not a bucket,
27.
Shaq is not a-
What? He was 27.
Shaq's not a bucket.
bro. Okay,
Shaq probably is the
He's a-
easiest, scores easier than anybody on this
Okay.
board.
Because
he's
none
a
of y'all
dominant. He's a
centers
dominant
is
force.
getting me out the paint.
Yeah.
Okay, but what is Steph doing defensively,
Okay.
Are you
That's
saying
one
Jerry West is
aspect.
not a bucket?
bro? Okay. Bill Russell won 11 rings. Like, and then you guys
What
are gonna
is
say,
that? You
But
that
I'm-
is
we're
that's
talking-
apples to
okay,
oranges.
look
You
at the-
said
look at
I'm
the
asking
eras.
you. I
Look at
said
the
you said
eras.
who are scores? You said Steph and who else? And Larry
He said
Bird.
Bird.
I said is Jerry West not a scorer? What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with Bill Russell? How did Bill Russell come into this conversation?
The era matters.
We're talking about is Jerry West a bucket?
The era matters.
Everyone on my team
You're
is a
not answering the
bucket,
question.
except for Scottie
Is he a
Pippen.
scorer?
Okay, he's a scorer.
Okay. So that's 4 now. We're up to 4 scorers on his team.
But the era matters is my point. The era matters.
He can only play against who he played against.
Oh, bruh, no, you can't say that, bro. You can't say that. The era matters.
So then we all should have just drafted players.
no.
from
But my
even
point.
If
my
the
point
era
is-
matters so much, then you have like the worst center.
How?
If the era matters that much,
Okay, but he has 11 rings, and your argument. would be-
The era
Can
matters.
can I finish?
The
And I'm
era
gonna
matters.
I'm gonna
He
explain
played
that.
against 8 teams.
Let me know when it's my turn.
He's not lying.
Go ahead.
My point is he has 11 rings, and everyone's argument is he didn't play against anybody. Correct? That's everyone's argument. Is he didn't
Nobody
play against
said
nobody
that.
good.
we're not arguing.
Only
that.
you
Yeah,
said
but
that.
okay, but is
Only
that
you've talked era.
is that not a consensus thing? No, that's why Bill Russell's not in anybody's top 10 because he didn't play against anybody. Is that correct or incorrect?
I mean, he's in my top 10.
Okay, but I'm saying the large majority of people who name their top 10 don't have him there because he didn't play against anybody.
Who doesn't
That
have
is-
Bill Russell in their top 10?
All of us, everybody who did the thing like, on the last episode, none of us had him in, and everybody said it's because he didn't play against
I wasn't
anybody.
in that. I wasn't.
Okay, but my point is the overall consensus. You might be that 1 or 2 people. That's fine. The
I don't
small
think it's 1 or
percentage of
2.
people that have him there would say that he's not high on the list because he didn't play against anybody. That is a fair statement to say.
Played against Wilt.
Well,
was in-
he's also not high on the list because his career numbers is like 15, 22, and 4. So he
I
got
mean, he was a great
rebounds.
defender. He's
got
not a.
rebounds.
He's not a scorer. He's a
But
great
everybody's
defender.
knock on him is that he didn't play against anybody. That's
My
everybody's
knock on him would
Well, I'm
be.
just telling you
that-
other
that-
knocks right now.
So when you say my guys can't shoot, and I have Michael Jordan on my team.
Michael Jordan's not.
That's
a
not a
He's
cure.
not a shooter though.
Okay,
That's
He's not
not
a
a
shooter.
cure all.
But
He's a mid-range
but
assassin.
he's the
But
best
that's
shooting guard of all time. Last time I checked, mid-range is a shot.
yeah, and I'm
You
not
can't
saying
shoot the
it's not a
three ball,
shot.
but mid-range is a shot.
Yeah,
But when we say shooters, we mean if they're stepping
Why are you
behind that
playing
line, bro, they're
dumb,
not
Steven?
knocking
I'm
that
not
line
telling you
down.
dumb. He's one of the best mid-range shooters
Do
ever.
you have shooters on? To me, the best shooter on your team is probably KG.
Yeah, it's KG.
That's fine.
That's
But
not
that's not
good,
good.
for
That's
KG
not
to be
good.
your
What do
best.
you mean?
Okay,
That's
and I mean,
fine.
so if you're saying that my team can't shoot, Preston team can't guard inside.
Yes, we can. I have Shaq.
They have
I
Shaq.
Pippen, I have
Right.
Larry Bird.
Okay, so
They have Scottie Pippen.
are y'all running a zone?
You just said they can't guard inside.
Are they running a zone? Because what's going to happen when Magic backs down 6'2" Steph Curry? Shaq's going to help.
Well, he's
off?
going to back him down into Shaq.
So Shaq just going to be standing in the paint. Last time I checked, there's a 3-second violation.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Where's
where is
Bill
Bill
Russell going to be at
Russell
the
going? He's
three-point
not
line?
going on the wing.
He can just move.
Is Bill Russell at the three-point line?
That's
you
fine.
think Bill Russell shooting threes?
Let him stand out there.
What do you think?
Shaq can't stay in the paint.
Look,
This ain't
listen,
Then we
listen.
don't have to guard him.
Yeah, at all. And
But
then
Shaq can't
and then
stay in
when
the paint.
Magic backs down Steph,
Shaq can't stay in the
Shaq
paint.
is going to come
He
over
can
to
keep
help.
one foot in, one
And
foot
then
out.
Magic is
Steven.
going to pass it to Bill Russell at the three-point line to do nothing with it.
This is all.
And that goes for
This is the worst. This is the
Steph-
worst offensive philosophy I've ever heard. I'm gonna put Bill Russell at the three-point line and have Magic back down Steph, and then when Shaq comes over, I'm gonna have him pass it to Bill Russell to shoot threes.
That's a terrible synopsis of my team.
That's what you just said.
No, that's what
you
you
said.
said.
I'm putting Bill Russell at the three-point line.
Because Shaq can't stand in the paint. You can't run zone. You
Yeah,
can't just
I
stand
can
in the paint.
come over to double. So when when Magic starts backing down Shaq,
Okay.
when he starts backing down Steph,
Mm-hmm.
Shaq is going to come over to double. You said you're putting Bill Russell at the three-point line.
He can be at the elbow. He can be at the wing. He can be at the three.
But
Wherever
the
he
Russell
goes.
point is,
He ain't
Shaq is
hitting no
still gonna
fucking
be right there.
mid-range shot.
Says
What
who?
you talking about?
Says
You are
who?
wilding right now. You are
Shaq
wilding.
is an anchor. He's still
So
gonna
Bill
be
Russell
there.
can't hit a 15-footer.
Probably
At
not.
At all.
They
Did
didn't
any
have-
of y'all watch Bill Russell play?
Have
They
you
probably
watched
you watched
didn't
Bill
even have-
Russell
they
play?
didn't even
No,
have
but he has
lines
11
on the
rings, so I'm
court
assuming
back
he
when
can hit a
was playing.
15-foot
He
jumper.
cannot.
He can hit a 15-foot jumper. Show me a video of him not being able to hit a 15-foot jumper. Then we can correctly grade my team.
All right.
I got the best point guard and the best shooting guard of all time.
But
That
you have
don't
no
make-
shooting.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I have the best shooting guard and the best point guard of all time.
Oh
Who has
my
the most shooting?
God.
And the most dominant
Preston,
player
you
right
have the
now
most
is on my
shooting.
team.
I think
Yeah, Preston with
Honestly,
Steph and Larry. That's
But
nasty.
you have Kevin Durant. You have Kevin Durant and Kobe and John Stockton.
Yeah,
So it's
I
kind
would
of
say
like
it's between
you two for sure.
yeah.
And my team's just too big. We too big for y'all. Y'all too
No,
little. Y'all
you're too big for yourself. Y'all are all gonna be congested and clogging up the paint and not be able to do anything else.
Yeah, because you got, like
And
I said,
MJ,
you have, because you also got Giannis who can't shoot.
Hey, he's a dominant force.
but
I mean,
who's
but
he gonna be dominant against?
Hey. Huh? What do you? Nobody on your team can guard Giannis one-on-one.
I dare Giannis to do his little bum rush, put his shoulder down.
Right, let's
into
not
the
act
paint.
like Larry Bird wasn't a good defender in his prime.
I will walk off this set right now if you tell me Larry Bird can guard Giannis one-on-one.
We're not saying he can.
I'm saying, yeah.
He can,
But my
he,
point is, you said you wish
wait a
Giannis
minute,
would do that.
wait a
Is
minute.
Shaq going to guard everybody?
he could do enough to
You think
disrupt
Giannis
him.
is guarding Larry Bird?
I think he could guard Larry Bird.
No. Giannis
What?
would-
I think
Larry Bird would
You're
hit
wild.
every single shot in his face.
You're wild.
Y'all
Giannis
crazy.
is guarding
Y'all-
Larry Bird at the
y'all are
three-point
crazy.
line.
Name me a guy on this list that can
He'll
guard Giannis.
put his arm.
Hakeem?
He'll put his right arm behind his back. And hit
You're
every
putting
shot
Hakeem
Giannis
Olajuwon on
takes.
Giannis.
Tim Duncan.
Tim
So
Duncan.
if you look at Edgar's team, where he goes Tim Duncan and Hakeem.
Here's what we should do. We should just put all your teams together and then try to guard my team. Because y'all grabbing from everywhere at this point.
This
He
is
said,
his,
he said
what
Shaq can guard him, Hakeem, Tim, John Stockton.
Yes.
No,
They can all-
who's going to guard Jordan at that point?
Oh,
Who's
Okay.
going to guard Jordan?
Have Scottie Pippen on
let's
my
look at one
Scottie
team.
Pippen.
Let's
Yeah.
take it by one team.
Y'all
So
are
okay,
crazy.
let's
Y'all
go
are crazy
Edgar's
right now.
team against your team.
Okay, so let's
Right?
just match them up. Let's match them up then. I'll
So
let you go
Bill
ahead.
Russell's getting 8 by Hakeem. Kevin
Offensively
Garnett,
or
Tim
defensively?
Duncan. That was about a wash even when they played.
Wait,
so
say it again. Say it again.
I
didn't
said,
hear you. You cut out.
can you hear me? I
I can
said
hear you. I can hear you.
Kevin Durant and Tim Duncan is about a wash. They both.
Kevin
were-
Garnett.
Bruh, see what I
I said
mean, bruh?
Garnett. They were
Okay.
about a wash when they played. Who do you got small forward? Giannis, LeBron. That's it. I'm going to tell you, in his prime, if we're talking about 2010s, especially Miami LeBron, I'm taking LeBron over Giannis
Every
all
time.
day.
Hey, you got to remember, LeBron got robbed of a Defensive Player of the Year.
Now I'm going to give
Marcus
you
should
Mike.
not have won that.
I'm going to give you Mike on Julius Irving. Magic Zeke. That went back and forth.
All right,
You
he's being
don't,
dramatic.
you don't watch
Bruh,
basketball.
There's no way
You don't
you're
watch
doing this.
That
basketball.
didn't go back and forth.
Bro, let me ask you one more question, okay?
Wait a minute. Did
No,
Isaiah
I'm
Thomas-
gonna ask you something
Isaiah
right now.
Thomas
No.
win a ring like that?
Because what you did is LeBron and Giannis wash, Duncan Garnett wash. Is Isaiah
I didn't
Thomas
say
is-
LeBron and Giannis is a wash. I said LeBron is better than Giannis.
Okay,
I said I'm
so-
taking LeBron over Giannis.
You said Hakeem and Russell is a wash.
Yes.
Okay, so
Actually, Hakeem and Russell may not be a wash. Hakeem is better than Russell.
yeah, you just said it's a wash.
I said Tim Duncan and Kevin
Yeah,
Garnett
he said
is
Tim
about
and
the same.
Garnett, bro. He said Tim and Garnett. He
Is
said
a wash.
Elijah one would beat Russell.
Okay,
And I
so
said LeBron is better
but
than
the way you compared Jordan Irving was like, oh, I'll give Jordan Irving.
I
It's
said-
not even close.
I said Jordan got Irving.
No,
I
he-
said,
he said
and that's
Jordan
hey,
got
that's,
Irving.
hey, that's wash in capital letters. In capital letters.
I'll give you Jordan over not the game.
And the fact
To
that
say-
you said Isaiah Thomas and Magic are comparable. Isaiah Thomas is not even close to
Bro,
Magic.
Isaiah
he's
Thomas
not
is probably a better
comparing them.
scorer. I just said, hey, they went neck and neck. They went neck and neck in the 80s. That's a fact.
Bro, they literally played each other for a championship.
That Detroit won.
Is Isaiah Thomas a better player than Magic Johnson?
Their
No,
numbers
I
aren't
said
that
they were
different.
neck and neck in the 80s.
Preston. Okay, so since we're trying to like pick apart stuff, on your top 10, did you think about Isaiah Thomas?
I didn't have to worry about that because I picked my point guard. But
No. I mean your
obviously-
top 10 NBA players of all
No,
time.
top 10 when we did our top 10.
Oh, top 10 NBA. No.
Magic is a top 3 player all time. Top 5 if you want to. If top
I
top
don't
5
think I
for
have him in
sure.
my top 3.
Oh, let's
but-
just say top 5. Isaiah Thomas is not even close. It's not close. So the fact that we're trying to like, oh well, like don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Because
Because
I feel like Isaiah Thomas is a bum.
Yeah,
Isaiah
I'm not saying he's a bum, but he's not on Magic's level. So let's not do that. He's not on Magic's level.
He's
And
not
what-
far.
Yeah,
He's like-
that's what I'm saying. You wilding like
Bro,
the dude
you
can't
acting
play
like the
with
gap
that.
is crazy.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas was
The gap
19,
between
3
Magic
and
Johnson
9.
and Isaiah Thomas is bigger than the gap between Bill Russell and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Stop it.
Yeah, you wilding.
Stop it, bro.
Hey, your
You're
thing
wild
is
as
frozen, but you
fuck.
wilding. Bro, you were wilding.
What's the gap between Steph and LeBron?
Steph and that's
Bro,
hard
that's two
because
different
it's probably two different
positions.
Okay, bro, I got it, bro. Because now
you
y'all like to pick and choose.
You
Because when we did our top 10 NBA players, Isaiah Thomas was not on your list. It was
Everybody
we didn't even
said
say
it.
honorable mentions. We didn't even talk about. Now all of a sudden he's comparable to a guy who y'all had at 3. That don't make no sense to me.
I didn't have him at 3. You see my top
At
10?
4 or 5, that still don't make no sense to me.
I
Isaiah Thomas wasn't even your honorable mentions.
didn't have honorable mentions.
So if he was, if you had
So
honorable mentions, would he be on
honorable
there?
mention, Isaiah Thomas.
Well,
Honorable mention.
It's just he wasn't on a better team. That's all.
Y'all just said they won the championship against them. So how can you say he wasn't on a better team?
Steve.
No, Isaiah Thomas was a hooper. That's all I'm saying.
He's
I'm
not better
saying-
than Magic Johnson.
I am
and
saying
Jordan
but
washes
you keep
Irving.
saying this.
No,
It's
but bro,
probably-
nobody
it's
is saying that
probably
he was
closer
better.
than
Oh,
you
All we
think.
said
But what
is
you're
that was, it was
saying-
comparable.
You're saying you're acting like Magic would just wash him, bro. That's literally what you're saying. We're not saying
Yeah.
that
The same
the
way
gap
same
is
way you
like
said-
this, bro.
But
But
it's
the
the
gap
same
is
way-
close.
It's the same way you said Akeem would wash Russell. It's the same way you said that.
He said maybe, probably.
No.
I
He did
said
not
he
say
would.
maybe. He
I
said
said he
wash.
would.
And
I
so that's
said
my point.
Elijah
So you're
I
saying-
don't think you would.
Wash him easily.
But Magic's not washing Isaiah. That's what I'm
No.
confused about.
So
That's
if
what I'm
I take
confused.
Isaiah's best season and I compare it to Magic's best season, Isaiah has a better best season than Magic does in the same era.
Okay, Russell Westbrook has a better season than LeBron. What does that mean? What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything.
Tell me the Russell Westbrook season that you think is
Triple-double
better than
MVP.
LeBron's best season.
Triple-double MVP.
LeBron has 4 MVPs.
No, I said best season. Triple-double MVP.
So that is better than LeBron's best season?
Stat-wise, yes, it is.
How do you figure that?
He averaged a triple-double. What do you mean? How do I figure that?
So then a triple. So then he has the best season in NBA history.
He's not the only person to do that.
No,
So
only
you're
in the
saying
Big O. then.
Oscar Robertson should.
So
have
what you're
be
saying is a
considered.
triple double trumps all things.
No, but you're comparing stat lines at this point, right?
You
You're
said
comparing stat
Russell
lines.
Westbrook's triple double is better than any season LeBron's had. That's what,
What
you
did you-
just said.
And I use that as a comparison because you said Isaiah Thomas's best season is better than Magic's best season.
Right.
And how did you base that off of? What did you use to
The
come to
numbers.
that?
His-
So if you look at Russell Westbrook's numbers, they're better than LeBron's.
so you're saying Russell Westbrook's triple-double season is
Yes.
better than LeBron's best season.
Based on your logic, yes.
No, I'm not asking about my logic. I'm asking about your logic.
So no, I don't believe that. But you just said Isaiah Thomas is.
So how
you're
do you
going off of
use
stats.
my logic to make your argument?
No. See, you're trying to spin it now. You're trying to spin
I'm
it.
not.
'Cause- Okay, so wait. So why did Isaiah Thomas have a better season than Magic Johnson? His best
Because he
season.
had
Why
better
was it?
numbers.
Okay, so then by your logic, if that's your logic, that's the way you came to that conclusion. Then by your logic, Westbrook's season
So
is better
you're
than LeBron.
saying Isaiah Thomas has never had a better season than Magic? It's impossible.
No, I didn't say it was impossible, but he's not a better player than him. That's my point.
That's not the argument.
So
Nobody has
I didn't-
argued that.
I didn't choose Magic Johnson because of his one best season. I chose it as his overall player. That's why he's my point guard. Not because he had one better season than Isaiah Thomas. It's because he's the best point guard in history. He's top
I'm
5 player.
looking. I got the best team. That's all.
I just don't see what Bill Russell and Giannis are supposed to do on your team, though. Like, they're just kind of there.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what is Jerry West and Steph going to do defensively?
I mean,
What are they
Jerry
going to do
West,
defensively?
they're not really going to have to do much, especially against your team.
Okay, so let's say against my dad's team or Egger's team, what are they going to do defensively? What are they going to do against Kobe
They can keep up with John Stockton.
and Kobe? Who's going to guard Kobe?
Kobe and Scottie
Who's
Pippen
going
would guard.
to guard Jordan?
Scottie Pippen would guard Kobe, and he would guard Jordan. Larry Bird would.
What?
probably
See
guard-
what I mean, bro? You gonna guard 2 people at once, bro.
Well, you just asked me two.
Yeah,
different,
that's two different teams.
yeah, you just
Okay,
asked me
so-
who's gonna. You just asked me 2 different players on 2 different teams, so I'm answering you.
Okay, so let's start with my dad's team. Who's gonna guard Kobe on your team?
He said Scottie.
Pippen.
Okay, so
would.
Scotty's gonna guard Kobe.
Right.
Who is Jerry West gonna guard? He's gonna guard KD? Is that what your plan is?
That's a
No,
good
I would
point.
probably put Bird on him.
Okay. And then who so West is gonna go guard
Who is West guard?
he's gonna guard Karl Malone.
Hold on.
What? Jerry West will. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Right,
Like,
you can't-
so now, come on, bro. So now
But
come
hold
on, bro.
on. But hold
Wait,
on.
you say you put Jerry West on
Yeah,
Karl
We
Malone?
want to talk about my team offensively.
I told
Your
you
team
Shaq is-
can't stop a nosebleed.
Okay, and I do have a sub. Trace McGrady can guard anyone on this team.
Okay, so
I don't
Jerry West is
think
not a starter.
Tracy McGrady can guard Karl Malone.
And Tracy McGrady played for 4 years. Bro got a bum knee.
He didn't play for 4 years.
I'm
You
We're
right.
obviously
going with-
exaggerating, but
Wait.
he has a
This
bum
whole
knee.
time we've been going with Prime.
We're going.
Oh, we can't go with Prime.
Okay,
But you
so
act
let's-
like Magic. T-Mac wasn't fucking up the league, bro.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, he was
so you
nice.
tell,
I
so-
just
so
only
Jerry West
thing I'm
the
saying
starter.
is he can't guard Karl Malone.
So
you
Jerry
can't-
West,
I can take that L though. I can take that L and
But
win that.
he can
I
guard.
can balance out my wins and losses. Like I'm okay with
listen,
Karl Malone getting some buckets. I'm okay
listen.
with that.
If you got Jerry West guarding Karl Malone, your team is in trouble.
I'm okay with that though, especially if I have Shaq there. I still have a chance.
Bro, he can't guard everybody,
Kareem's
bro.
not going anywhere though. Kareem's gonna stay around the paint. That's the thing with
Kareem
these
is nice
older
with it.
these
That's
older
kind of-
centers.
he's
They're gonna
nice
be
with it.
around the paint. They're not leaving.
Okay, now let's look at Edgar's team. So how is your team gonna match up defensively? Because you got a lot to say about my team offense. Y'all don't play no defense.
No,
Yes,
okay.
we
Let me look.
do.
Isaiah Steph,
Huh?
right? That's probably a
like
regular
Steph
That's a
matchup.
fuck
good
with
matchup.
Isaiah.
That's a good matchup.
Okay.
You got to go Jerry West, Dr. J, and they actually play
Right.
against each other.
Yeah.
Then you go LeBron. You probably go LeBron, Pippen, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, which
Yeah.
I think Tim Duncan probably gives Larry Bird some problems. And then
Right.
Shaq and Akeem both went neck and neck. I mean, they both. So, I mean, I think the matchup, the only concerning matchup there is Tim Duncan, Larry Bird. I think Larry Bird
Yeah.
is going to have some problems with Tim Duncan down low.
But again, like I said,
But then
every team's gonna
Go ahead.
every team's gonna have flaws. So y'all like, bro, y'all don't shoot. Y'all don't shoot.
I mean, you don't have any
shoot, though. Like you still
Okay.
gotta score some points.
I understand that. But if you can't stop nobody from scoring, it's the same.
Steven,
same
if somebody
concept.
wants to play the score game with my team, they're gonna get blown out the water.
Okay, but you're not understanding. Y'all can't guard
Now,
nobody.
my concern for you is Pippen is not much of a scorer.
I know. I only
Bro,
have
and your coach
he
ain't
has-
even out there.
I
Your
have
coach
he
ain't
has
even out
there
there.
Bird and
because
Steph.
You got
There's-
Udoka coaching, bro.
Yeah,
Your players don't even trust them.
you got a coach that you got a coach that'll
Like,
probably
we
put
don't need
Jerry
to
West on
go-
Karl Malone.
We're over here with all-star teams. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
It does matter. You're
No.
cheating with T
No,
Mac's
it
wife.
doesn't.
He-
Come on, bro.
Shout out to my boy Udoka. He was just
I don't know
living
why.
his
I thought
life.
you were gonna pick Steve Kerr. I thought that's who you were gonna pick as a coach.
Nah, I'll pick Steve
Yeah,
Nash
ain't no
before
way.
I
I
do.
think best team, especially in terms of balance. But I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, Edgar, you don't have a lot of shooting either.
I know I don't.
Right. Yeah.
I know I don't. Looking at my team, yeah, I know I don't have a lot. I think it's primarily
That-
gonna be inside.
Yeah, that would be help
Really,
for LeBron.
Dr.
He's
J's
not
a slasher.
Mhm.
Isaiah's a penetrator. LeBron's
Oh.
not a great shooter. Tim Duncan's a 15-footer. Well, he's a bucket. Akeem's not a shooter. You know what I'm saying? In the traditional mode. Like I said, Preston definitely has the most shooting.
Definitely. So if we were playing in today's game, then yeah, Preston's team would.
Yeah, in today's game, Preston seems perfectly built,
Easily,
especially
yeah.
with Larry Bird playing the 4, because that's kind of the style. I
Yeah,
think
yes. Hey, my team built for the 90s then.
my
We'll take
team
it.
is the most balanced.
No, Steven's team is built for like the senior citizen league.
How do you
Yeah.
say that when I got a guy who won 6 championships in the 90s?
Nah, y'all gonna be playing so
Did it-
slow. MJ gonna be getting mad. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Matter of fact, now that I'm looking at my team, I got a championship in every era.
Oh my!
Do
Who
you?
cares?
In every era.
Yeah.
70s or 60s. I don't. Did Bill Russell win one of the
70s, bro.
Yeah,
70s.
yeah, whenever.
And
yeah,
then
Bill-
80s, Magic.
Yes.
90s, Jordan.
Yeah, we all
Garnett,
get it.
2000s. Giannis, 2020 or 19? 20.
Steven, I don't
20.
remember when this became a who has the most rings list.
Yeah. Because
So you know
first
when
of
it
all,
became
and
that?
this is where I
Wait,
think
wait,
all
Preston.
thing gets messed up.
Wait.
A championship is a team accomplishment. It's not an individual accomplishment.
I understand that, and that's my point I'm about to make. So when Preston says when it's become a championship thing, when they said Jordan's better than LeBron because he has 6 championships,
But
that's
we're-
when it became a thing.
We're not arguing that right now.
No, but you said when did it become that? And I'm telling you when it became that.
Yeah,
When
but
LeBron started contesting Michael, it's when he
So
takes it on the finals.
if I'm taking, because I put Mike on my list above LeBron, right? Do the championships play a part? Yes, but you also the 11 scoring titles, the defensive player of the year. There's a lot of other things. Even if we just said championships are a wash, right? 5 MVPs, which really, let's be honest, and I can say this for both players, but they both should have had more. However, I would say Mike still should have had more MVPs than LeBron. So if I look at accolades and I take out, let's just say we take out championships, I still think Mike has a better resume.
I don't agree with that one.
What again, we're not talking, I'm talking, let's not talk longevity awards, right? Like
No, just
Obviously-
accolades. Just accolades.
just accolades. And
So what you're saying is if we take away the NBA any championship, you think LeBron has the best resume?
no, I'm saying I think Mike does.
Or you think Mike does? Honestly, I would make an argument for Mike and Kareem then.
Kareem
has 6.
Kareem
Yeah,
tough
Kareem
too.
has
Kareem-
6 MVPs. Like,
Yeah.
no one's done that.
Kareem has, and this is what I'm saying. Mike should have more MVPs. So should LeBron. I'm going to say
Okay.
that for both. So should Kobe, right? But Mike probably should have 10 MVPs.
It's very arguable. I think he played in.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I
I,
mean, the
think
Charles
Karl Malone
Barkley
and Charles.
one,
Yeah, Karl Malone. I don't think they
Yeah.
should have won those. But it's
I mean,
voters
when he has
fatigue.
clearly better numbers.
It's voters fatigue at that point.
Yeah. So some of these, this is what I'm saying. Some of these things, when I'm looking 5 MVPs, I won't get into all stars because, like I said, LeBron has more, but that's a longevity thing. But defensive player of the year, 9 times all first team defense. LeBron doesn't have that. 10 times scoring champ. LeBron doesn't have that. 3 times steal leader. LeBron doesn't have that.
Wait, skill leader?
Steal.
Oh, steal. I was about to say, did you just make up a stat? Like,
And that's
Here.
like I said, we can go into
Oh, y'all can't see
longevity
this, huh?
longevity awards. And this is at the end of the day, this is probably the conversation, but it's tough because what I'd have to do is I'd have to cut even in taking Mike's 15 seasons, you got to remember one of those seasons they're counting against him is the season that he played 14
He broke
games.
his leg when he broke
Yep.
his leg.
They count that as one of his seasons. The other season is the season that he came back at the end of the season when they lost, got swept by Orlando. So
technically,
really,
he played
I don't know.
like 13.
I think, but this is the problem. To say like we can't count longevity awards. That's bogus. Because that's a part of basketball.
but if I'm talking about who the best player is, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the averages, he only averaged more points than him and steals.
And he's tied in blocks.
Yeah, but and LeBron averaged more rebounds and assists.
But those are things that LeBron does. Like, no, not. And listen, I am a big LeBron fan.
And Jordan's a scorer.
But if I'm taking, so we're saying points and steals versus rebounds and assists. How are we saying that what LeBron did there is greater?
Well, no, but my point is we're taking out longevity. That's my point. Like, I don't think we should take out
you
longevity.
said
By looking at this, we're taking out longevity. That's my
Right.
point. And
Well,
I don't think we should take out longevity because that matters. That's what I'm trying to say.
So this is what I'm saying. But what I'm saying in taking out longevity is because, again, even to me, if you take just accolades, taking out championships, what I just named a number of accolades that even given the amount of time Mike has over LeBron.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of things throughout a period of time that LeBron did. Most playoff points. He's gonna have the most points all time. To say that, we can't count that.
That is accumulation.
Exactly.
That's
and you had to be good enough to do that. That's my point. So we can't just say, well, it doesn't matter. Like that doesn't count.
So if you
that
say
definitely counts.
But he doesn't have the best playoff average. He has the best most playoff points because he played in the most playoff games. That is accumulative. That is not, if you said he had a higher playoff average than Mike, then I would see where that argument makes sense. He doesn't, as you just tried to scroll past real fast like we didn't see it.
I'm on it.
So he doesn't average more points per game in the playoffs than Mike. So why would I then give him credit because he played more games?
I mean, it's the same as the regular season.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You still got to look at the rebounds and assists. And my point is, and also if you're playing more games, your average isn't going to be as high as if you play less games than someone. Because there's
an
more
average. You understand?
But there's still more to pick from. So if you go play one game and score 50 points, and I play 10 games,
that is that's apples to oranges. One game is not an average.
But
they have both played a number of playoff games.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between one. If you played 50 and I played 1, yes, it's likely that my averages will be skewed. Right, but we're not talking 50 to 1. We're talking
LeBron has
both of them
a lot
hundreds
more
of playoff games.
But he has a lot more minutes played in the playoffs than Jordan does. He has a lot more.
Okay.
So just to say that it's eliminated is
so we're
crazy.
saying fuck the fact that Mike averages 33 points in the playoffs because LeBron.
No, I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you have to look at everything. You can't just take a couple of things and say this is why Jordan's better. You got to look at everything. That's my only argument.
We are. I mean,
no, but what you're saying is you're taking out longevity. I don't think we should take out longevity.
I'm saying it's hard when I'm comparing. If you say Mike has less points, less career points than LeBron. Right?
That's not my only metric.
No. And I'm using this, but this is what I'm basing that comment on, right? If you say LeBron has more career points than Mike, that's a fact. But we're really talking about 13 seasons versus 20 seasons.
No,
right. So at that point, again, if we want to use that to elevate LeBron, then we have to use the fact that Mike averages more points per game than LeBron.
Yeah, but I also look at, I would say he's a better scorer than him. But I
don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. Like, I mean, even when you look at his playoff, he still averaged more points and rebounds in the regular season and the playoffs. That's my only. It's like he averaged 4.5
You
more
said points
per
and
five-
rebound. He didn't average more points.
I mean, assist and rebounds. I'm sorry, assist and rebounds.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so
Just like Mike averaged more points than steals. So
Yeah,
what do you consider more important? I don't. That's a tough distinction.
and I think the reason why I have LeBron number one is because he was able to do it longer. That's why, and that's why I don't think longevity should be cut out of it.
So,
And I value it. I value it. That's all.
And I respect LeBron, even what he's doing. What, in year 20 now? I respect what he's doing. Like I said, I'm a big LeBron fan. I don't think at their best, if I had to take one for one season, I don't think I'm taking LeBron over Mike.
Yeah, and I also think it depends what your team is. I
Right.
think player for player.
Yeah.
I think player for player. If you
Let me
need
say
to-
this: if we were doing a actual fantasy draft, their best season, I'm taking Mike's best season. I'm taking Mike first over LeBron. Now, I can understand people who argue the contrary. I'm just saying, Mike is the best player I've ever seen.
I mean, a lot of people will say that, so I don't knock that.
Yeah.
I never watched him play. If I did,
Well,
I
and that I think that's the other hard part, right? Because I'll say this, like my dad would probably say Dr. J is the best player ever.
no, he would not.
Yeah, he probably would. That's his favorite player.
He's not saying he's better than Jordan.
But you got to remember part of it. So part of it for me
Ain't no way, bro.
is I was a kid in the era of Mike, right? I seen Mike from his first season, from the shoes, right? We talked about shoes, from everything, when Mike was literally a god, a walking god. The guy could do no wrong. And maybe that, again, I'm a big LeBron fan. I'm a Cavs fan. But maybe that taints my image, because to me, Mike was that dude. And I don't think anybody's been that dude like Mike was that dude.
I feel like even when you look at like the awards, it's close.
Like what in terms of this, what do you say? Like what awards?
Well, I mean, obviously he played longer, but even if you look at how many years did Jordan play healthy?
So really, and this is the tough part about Mike, because they're going to count 15 seasons.
That's why I said healthy. That's why I said healthy.
Obviously, you got to add in the Wizard seasons, but beyond that, it's 13, and that's including 2 seasons that he played with the Wizards.
So 2 of the 13 is with the Wizards.
2 of the 15.
So 13 healthy regular years.
13 healthy regular years.
Yeah, so like LeBron's only not made an NBA team one time in his career. Jordan didn't make it twice. So when I'm saying like it's a lot closer.
What you talking about? What
playoffs?
All NBA teams.
Oh,
so this is LeBron's 20th season. I'm assuming he's going to get it this year. So that means of the other 19, he only didn't make it once because he has 18.
I'm surprised Mike has only made 11. What years did he not make it?
probably his first.
So
couple of
those
seasons.
No, his first season he like
I mean,
dominated.
they were both rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Jordan has a steals leader 3 times. LeBron has an assist leader once. Michael Jordan's biggest thing I would say over him is the scoring leader. But LeBron's not a scorer.
Well, you got I mean, but there's other defensive player of the year, 3 times a steals leader, right? That's, I mean,
I just said that. I just said steals leader.
I'm saying, but you said the biggest thing is the scoring leader.
I think the biggest discrepancy.
That's the biggest edge, Mike.
I would say the biggest discrepancy.
Defensive player of the year is a big deal. That's not like, hey, I was first team all defense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah, but he only got it once. And we just talked about it earlier. He should have got it when Marcus Hall got it. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
That's but Mike did get it.
No, I understand that, but I think I'm pretty sure that was the first time in NFL history. I think it's the only time I'm pretty sure that somebody who was on the All NBA first team didn't get it, and somebody on the All NBA second team got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and like I said, that's why I think the scoring leader, it wasn't based off of votes. I mean, Jordan had the most points.
Oh, I know. So wait a minute. Jordan was, you said he was All NBA
11 times. 11.
So the hard part is because, again, I think the 2 years he wasn't is the years he played with the Wizards.
What about the other? Wait, but there's 15.
Yeah, he had 2 injured seasons and 2 seasons he played with the Wizards.
So where's the other one then? If you play,
He
14.
played 15 seasons.
Oh, I was looking at NBA first team. I'm sorry, I was looking at NBA first team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I look at it, obviously he played longer than him. But
Yeah.
even if you just look at, I mean, like I said, LeBron only missed it one time, and then he missed it. He missed it
I mean, at
6
the end of
times.
the day, LeBron is, and if you, it's tough because I actually use a counter argument. I say Jay-Z is the greatest rapper because of longevity. Although I think I would put Big just based off of album for album, lyric for lyric as the greatest rapper. So I'm almost using a counter argument, right? So I can understand the longevity thing. You got to give LeBron credit in year 20. Still, what is he averaging this year? 27?
The last time I checked, it was like 28, 8 and 8, or 27.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to give him all respect due to LeBron for that. I just at their primes, Mike was that dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate the argument. I just what you said earlier, I value the other things LeBron does with like the rebounds and the assists. I value that a little more than the points that Jordan scores.
I respect that.
Like I said, I think it just goes back to like what you need on your team.
Right.
The other part too is even in terms of points, I think you got to consider pace, right?
Mhm.
I think if Jordan played, and I won't do the if Jordan played in this era, but if they played at the pace that they play now, I think
The
Jordan's
pace is slower now.
not in the 80s. There was a period in the 90s where it was faster, but in the 80s it was really slow.
Let me see. Because I was watching something that said that
Where
this is the slowest period in a long time.
Oh,
I mean,
now
like the last maybe 10 years, bro, something like that.
yeah, 80s where you're talking about back to the basket. Even if you watch,
Basically feed the big man. That's
if
kind
you
of how
watch
it was
80s
back then.
basketball, it was the ball goes to the post first.
Yep.
Inside out.
So it says the highest. Which NBA area had the highest pace? It says in the 90 season.
Yeah, 90s, yeah. And that's when teams started to run. But early in Jordan's career, it was all back to the basket.
Let me see. I don't even know what pace really means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know how to like the numbers.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, a lot of that stuff is tough. No knock to LeBron. I don't think I could put him over Mike in my all-time list.
Actually, in the 19 season, the pace was the highest.
2019?
2019?
It was the highest?
Is the number so it was 100. The pace was 100. So if that, I mean, it's the highest number on here. So I'm assuming that's what it means.
Yeah. What was it? Can you look at the 80s?
Oh my God. Yeah, they're all in the hundreds.
The 80s?
Yeah, all in the hundreds.
Damn.
So what's the highest?
The highest was in. So I'll read from 80 to 81 was 101.8. 81 was 101. 82 was 103. Then 101, 102, 102, 101. It didn't, and then 99, and then 100. So it didn't go back into it started to dip in the 90 season. Then 98, 97, 96.
You said 90s was the fastest pace.
I'm looking at it on Wikipedia or a Basketball Reference. It didn't go that far back. It just showed 90s, 2000s, 2001, 2010s. But 90s are like it started in 1990. It went from 97, and then 1999 it got down to 93. And then from 2003 to 2015 was all under 95. And then it picked back up in 2018. But I mean, I don't know how much that really matters. I mean, what does that mean? And I'm being genuine.
So but looking at all NBA teams, if I look at basically Mike's 11 years, and like I said, you got to count the Wizard years against him, but I don't think he was all NBA those years. I think his 11, what we would call his regular years, he was all NBA every season.
Yeah.
And then that includes, so basically he won the scoring title every year except for one that he was healthy. No, actually, yeah, every year except for one, and that was his rookie season.
Let me see something.
So this is what pace means in the game. Pace, or how many possessions a team uses per 48 minutes, is something that's often discussed when referring to specific teams or even eras of the NBA. So I guess from what it sounds like, it's either now there's more possessions in the game, or back then there was a lot more possessions within the 48 minutes of the game. I think that's what pace is.
Okay.
But I mean, even now, like if you think about it, and I'll just use like the last few weeks in the NBA. We've been seeing like a lot of scoring, like a lot of players have just been going crazy. And I think obviously that's just because I think they play a lot quicker. Like if you just look at the shot clock, it's rare when you see the shot clock going down to like the last 5 seconds, because every team is just, bam, 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 trying to get shots up as much as they can. I mean, we literally saw a player score 71 points within the last week, which was insane. But
I got a question. So, do y'all think this matters that Jordan took more shots than him a game?
Not necessarily.
Like when you're talking about
not
average
necessarily
points.
Because I feel like
more.
He had to.
Scorer.
Yes, he had to.
No, because
by how much? But by how much?
He
Yeah,
took,
but
more,
I
he
would
took
also
3 more
say-
shots a game.
because
Three
he
more
wasn't
shots.
Jordan wasn't a horrible shooter. He shot at a pretty decent percentage.
Yeah,
his
they
whole
both.
career.
It was pretty much the same. Well,
Wait,
LeBron had like 1% more than him, or 0.5%. Or
Yeah,
something.
they averaged like over 50% in their career.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
They both shot. I mean, yeah, Jordan is almost like right at 50%.
they were really efficient.
I think he's
They were really
49%.
efficient players.
He's at 49, and LeBron's at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say that
I would
is
say that is roles, right? I mean, really, Pippen was like the lead point guard who set up the offense for the Bulls, and that's been LeBron's role for his career.
the only reason why I asked that is because I don't know why it doesn't show me on this. Do y'all think if LeBron shot as many times as him, the numbers would be a lot closer?
That's
So he would shoot
because
3
I will
more
also
buckets.
say, but
Yeah.
I will also say, because this is where you could flip that, right? If we play hypotheticals, I could also say if Mike shot as many threes as LeBron, the scoring disparity would be even bigger, right? But Mike didn't play in the era where people shot a bunch of threes. So that's why I say it gets tough playing that game, because if assuming that Mike played in this era or shot as many shots as Mike, probably would be a better 3-point shooter, because that would be more part of his game. Right now, to what percent, who knows? But what we can say is if he took the same number of threes as LeBron, even making them at the same percentage, he probably scores more than them. He probably makes up for that same disparity.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't tell me the amount of 3-pointers he took a game.
So for Mike, I'm looking at on Basketball Reference. This is based on their career. Jordan 1.7 attempts.
Okay.
And he only knocked down 0.5. So he wasn't even knocking down a full 3. LeBron, on the other hand,
He shoots like 4.6 or something.
4.6, and he makes 1.6.
So yeah, I mean, you got to kind of go with what we have, right? It's hard to play hypotheticals because if you say LeBron takes those 3 extra shots, well, you also got to say then Mike takes 3 extra threes. He converts 3 of his shots to threes, and then he's making more of them, obviously.
Yeah. So, Dad, let me ask you this then to kind of end the episode. Hold on, let me close this out. You think Jordan is number 1 all time, right?
Yes.
Is there anything LeBron can do to take over, to surpass him?
Oh, I don't know.
And then I have another question for you also. But go ahead.
So this is, and I'm going to say this the same way. The same way, if we say, hey, we got to take in longevity and not just look at averages, then I think you have to look at the fact that Mike has 6 rings, 6 finals appearances. Really, and again, when we talk about healthy seasons, especially if I cut out those Wizard seasons, right? Which, again, that's tough, but you're down to about 11 seasons and he has 6 championships. I don't know. Could LeBron pass? I don't know. And again, maybe for me, it's a nostalgia thing. I think at 6 championships, I think if LeBron got 6 championships, I think that helps his argument, because that's going to be not just for me, but for a lot of people, the finals record is going to be something that holds LeBron back.
Okay. Second part of my question is, we had this conversation when we did the top 10, I think it was. Is there anybody that's playing right now? Obviously, you don't have LeBron number 1, but he's number 2.
Yeah, I have him number 2.
Is there anybody that's playing right now that could pass him? That
That
you,
pass
I'm not
LeBron?
saying could. Like, is there anybody you think would pass him?
I know it's tough. I mean, because there are a bunch of people that I don't know where their career trajectory is going to take them.
Or what
There
you've
are
seen so
people
far?
that have like maybe a Giannis, right? If Giannis continued playing like he's playing,
Wait, Preston, why are you smiling?
Giannis, he doesn't have it in him. I'm sorry.
You want me to
What do
tell
you
you
mean?
the part that where you have to say, because let's say Giannis ran off 6 rings, a couple more MVPs, a couple more defensive player of the years, you got to talk about him.
Wait, Preston,
Right,
why don't you think Giannis could do that?
I think he's one of the hardest working players in the NBA,
I don't
especially on both ends of the court.
I don't know. I just don't see that team continuing to play at finals level and win.
Yeah, so this is where
Yeah.
this is where I'm saying we're but there are other people, and this is where I say it gets hard, right? Because I don't know what Luka's going to turn out to be, right? But if Luka could stay on the trajectory that he's on, and you assume how old is Luka now? 22?
23.
23. And if he continued to get better, and then again, we're talking about add a couple rings, add some MVPs. Yeah, I don't. It is the door open? Yes, but part of it, and again, I think this does lend itself to your argument. Part of it is a longevity thing. Like, can he do it over 10 years, 15
Right.
years? So I don't know. Ja, I mean, I think the door's open. I think the person right now, outside of the people that we would name, LeBron, KD, Steph, I think the person who probably has the best opportunity is Giannis. And like I said, I think Giannis, because of the ability to win championships and the ability to possibly add some things to his resume that LeBron and Mike don't have. And what I mean by that is multiple defensive player of the years, championships, MVPs. If you go into the conversation with Giannis has 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 3 defensive player of the years, then yeah, that becomes tough. Mike can't match that. I mean, and then of course there's numbers that we would have to look at and stuff like that. But if he's close in scoring, he's going to beat LeBron and Mike probably in rebounds and blocks. So you can kind of look at numbers and say, hey man, maybe there's an argument for Giannis if his career had a major where we're talking about 4 or 5 more rings.
Yeah, he's the only guy I could see that can come close.
Like I said, it's if I could say Luka, but that obviously that's a lot of projecting, right?
Yeah.
I could say Ja, but that's a lot of projecting. I obviously he has a very great beginning of his career.
Well, the reason why I said Giannis is because he already has hella awards.
Yeah.
Like he
I mean,
already,
that would be the closest, the person I think that is closest. I was just saying in terms of skill level and trajectory, if Luka continued to be great and continue to get better, then maybe we got at some point maybe we got to talk about him.
And
we all agreed with that one on the other episode. The only issue was he's on the Mavs and they don't.
Yeah, but I mean, you're probably talking about Luka's probably, at least at this point in the season, he's probably the MVP, right? And you're talking about an MVP of 23.
there's a few people though.
I mean, we're early in the season, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how the rest of the season plays out. I say he would probably have my vote today. I don't know how the rest of the season is going to play out. And obviously, like I said, we're early in the season. But if he was, let's just say if it played out and he won the MVP, at 23, he has an MVP, right? I mean, and if we could assume that he played even to 35 at this level. Because you got to the thing about Luka that I think that lends itself to him is that his game is not based on athleticism, right? He's not super athletic, which means that the things that he does, he can probably do them until he's 35, right? He can probably get points the way he gets points until he's 35. Yeah. Now, obviously, again, injuries and there's 8,000 different variables that could go wrong. But I could see an argument at some point where we're talking about Luka in that conversation. Like I said, I could see an argument where at some point in time we could be talking about Giannis in that conversation.
So do you think Steph could do anything that could pass LeBron?
The hard part with Steph is twofold, and I think we kind of talked about it, right? Steph gives you – it's hard for me to talk about a greatest player when there's such a liability on one half of the court. Now, Steph is the greatest shooter in NBA history, but when teams actively try to pick to switch him on a man, especially in crunch time, because they want somebody to go one-on-one with Steph because of his inability on the defensive end, that this is the same reason why I think Steve Nash shouldn't have won 2 MVPs. When you're a defensive liability, it's hard for me to put you in the conversation as greatest all time. Right. And we can say LeBron gets lethargic at different points. But when LeBron needs to lock in on defense, he can lock in on defense. Steph does not have, and again, it's not a knock. He doesn't have that ability. Right. Yeah. If you look at the end of that Cavs Warriors, when the Cavs came back, that literally was the play. Get the ball to Kyrie, continue to pick until it's Kyrie on Steph, and then everybody move out the way and let Kyrie go one-on-one on Steph.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's a kind of a hard example, though, because Kyrie probably would have done that to everybody, though.
But this is something, and we could talk about.
No, I get that he does it. Yeah, I got you.
This is a open thing on Steph.
Yeah, right? I feel like he's getting a little better, though. I don't think he could do anything that could pass LeBron.
Yeah, the hard part for him is the 4 championships with only 1 Finals MVP. Where there are periods of time, and I think what hurts him is there are periods of time where you can say he played on a team and he was not the best player, right? And I don't think any of the people that we talk about in that conversation, outside of maybe Kareem late in his career with Magic, which is still kind of tough, I don't think there's ever a point where you said Mike had a better player on his team than him. I don't think there's ever a time where you said LeBron had a better player on his team than him. And you're talking about in Steph's prime, there was somebody on his team that was clearly better than him.
Yeah, KD. But they also robbed him of a Finals MVP.
Yeah. You're talking about that. But I don't think Iguodala should have won it. But honestly, LeBron should have won that Finals MVP. LeBron was playing without Kyrie and Kevin Love. I believe, I may be mistaken, but I believe in that series, Matthew Dellavedova was the number 2 scorer for the Cavs.
Yeah.
LeBron was averaging like 40, 15, and 8 or something like that. Like he was the whole team. Like Andre, this is how you know, and this is where I give LeBron credit in his greatness. Andre Iguodala won a Finals MVP for his defense on LeBron when you let LeBron score 40 points a game. Yeah. Like that was like, man, you did a great job. He only scored 40.
Yeah, that was pathetic.
I'm looking at the numbers for the Golden State. They were identical. KD and Steph. Yeah.
We talking about the finals?
No, the regular season. Just stats.
Yeah, but KD was still a better player.
I'm talking about finals MVPs. I'm talking about in the finals, last shot, KD they won 2 championships together, right?
Yeah.
In the 2 championships and the 2 finals, KD was clearly the alpha.
Yeah. When it came down to it, it was always give KD the ball.
Now, Steph is nice. And I think what you have to do is you have to give him his flowers, his roses for what he does. Greatest shooter of all time. He's literally, if I had to do a list of the biggest influences in basketball, he's probably number 1. I think he's changed the game maybe between him and Dirk, right? I think Dirk with big men and starting to shoot. I think I don't know that somebody has changed the game as much as Steph has.
Is he in your top 10?
Steph,
I was gonna ask you that.
he's
Is he
fringe.
in the
He's fringe. I think I have him, and I know I sent you my list. I'd have to sit and think about it, but he's probably right around that 10, 11.
Duncan is in your top 10.
Duncan's in my top 10.
Why do you hate Duncan so
No,
much?
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. He's a great
I was
player.
gonna say, bro, we
I
better
was like,
not
how you
start
hate
this
Duncan?
again, bro.
No, I don't hate Duncan. Is KD in your top 10?
Yeah, KD's in my top 10.
Okay, that's fair. But Steph is
So
friend.
now he don't want to argue.
I think I had Steph at like 10 or 11.
Okay. What do you mean? I don't want to argue.
You know
What do you
He
not
said
like
K-
about
he
Duncan?
said- No, it's not. I don't not like him. I think KD's a better player than Duncan. That's all. I just think he's a better player.
This is okay, and this is where it gets weird, right? KD is clearly a better scorer than Tim Duncan, but
Correct.
let's not Tim Duncan was a hell of a defensive player.
My
I agree.
argument with Steven was that Tim Duncan had the much better career. Therefore, I put him higher on the list.
Yeah,
And
you're talking
KD
about
is obviously the more talented,
yeah.
but he doesn't necessarily have
Offensive-
the accolades.
I would almost say KD is probably the most talented, especially when you take his size in that count, the most talented offensive player in NBA history.
Right.
That
And
was
a
my only
7-footer that can literally score at every level. Like,
Yeah.
he's probably the most talented offensive player in NBA history. But like I said, you KD is somebody who doesn't always play defense. Tim Duncan was a great defensive player.
Yeah. I just would prefer KD over Tim Duncan. That's what he was saying. Like, I don't want to argue. That's what he was
Oh.
saying.
I mean,
I don't know.
to me, that's apples to oranges, right? I think it can go both ways.
Not to Steven. He said Tim Duncan was the most overrated player.
No, okay, wait. Okay, so wait. So this is where he tries to.
You
Okay,
said that.
wait.
Did you say that?
Listen. We were all talking about top 10 players. There was 5 of us or 4 of us, and I was asking the panel, of these players, who do you think is the most overrated? And I think of those players, Tim Duncan is the most overrated out of the other players that are on that list.
Who are the other players?
No.
Jordan, LeBron, Curry, KD.
No, he said of all the great.
If I had to take those, I would
Yes,
say
of all the great players, I think he's the
I would
most
say
overrated.
Curry's the most overrated out of the 4 you just listed.
But I'm saying, like, all the greats of all time, who do you think is the most overrated player? You think Steph Curry is? My answer is Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan is.
The most overrated?
Yes, because the reason why is because if you take away everybody's rings, I think he's the most overrated of everyone. He has 5 rings. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why they put him up there. He has 5 rings.
I mean, let's not act like he doesn't have numbers.
Okay, let's look at the numbers. We can look at the numbers. Let's look at KD's numbers compared to
In his
numbers.
best seasons, we're talking about what? So his best scoring season is 27.
25 is his best scoring season.
His best score. Oh, what is
I'm looking
going
at it
on
right
this
now. It's right here on the screen.
No, because I'm looking at this 2002 season.
It's 25. It's
It says
20.
27.
Oh wow!
Oh,
You
no,
really
I'm looking
had
at
it
the
up and ready
I'm
to
sorry.
go this whole.
Yeah,
time.
No,
so
I was just looking at him when he just said that. I was looking at it.
No, okay.
Bro,
I feel like numbers wise, I feel like no.
Why?
If you take away rings, it's not close.
Why do you have such?
Just look at the
disdain
skill
for Tim
set.
Duncan. He hates.
He plays
Tim
better
Duncan.
defense. He plays
You're
better defense.
taking
I'll give him
away a whole part of one side of the basketball court. Tim Duncan is
No.
a much better defender.
No, I understand. I'm taking away rings. I'm taking away the team aspect of
Yeah,
this.
but I'm saying
We can
yeah,
talk about defense and offense.
there's nobody who won't say that Kevin Durant isn't a more skilled offensive player than Tim Duncan.
I
but
think
Tim
he's a better
Duncan is-
basketball player than Tim Duncan.
But-
That's
but-
what I said.
And this is Tim Duncan is so to say that takes away one whole side of the court because Tim Duncan is clearly a better defender than Kevin Durant.
I agree. Is
So you're saying Tim Duncan
He doesn't care.
that
no.
far-
Wait. Let him finish. Go ahead.
You're
Say it again.
saying the difference between Tim Duncan and KD's offense is greater than the difference between KD and Tim
Yes.
Duncan's defense?
Yes.
No, that's incorrect.
No, it's not. You just said KD is probably the best offensive talent in the NBA history.
But you know what? Probably if we're talking about offensive talents,
Mhm.
I would say this: Tim Duncan's probably top 25. And let me tell you the difference:
25 points per game is not top 25.
top 25 offensive talents,
I'm saying his point
the
average.
big fundamentals, the guy who going bank shot on you.
Anybody named the big fundamental is not better than Kevin Durant.
But
Oh,
let me tell you the difference. Tim
What's the
Duncan
difference?
is a top 10 defensive player all time. KD is not top 1,000.
Okay, now you're just talking. Come on, bro. How is he not even top 1,000? Come on, dude.
Defensive players?
Top 1,000, Dad.
You think-
Let's be honest. Only like 3,000 people have played in the NBA in the history. You're saying
Like
he's a. Come on now. Let's be realistic
I
here.
think more than 3,000.
Let's be a little realistic here.
I can, off the top of my head, I could probably name 50 defensive players better than KD.
That's not 1,000. You just said
I said
1,000.
off the top of my head.
Okay, so can you give me 950 more?
I probably could.
No, you couldn't. You can't even name 950 basketball players.
If
bro.
I sat here long
Bro,
enough, and
Even
just
if
really
you
thought about
like I said, if you take away rings, look at the averages.
but all of the averages, the averages that you're leading towards are all offensive based,
Not steals.
right? But then look at blocks and rebounds.
Okay, that's fine. Of the 5 major
What do you mean
categories
that's
right here,
fine?
of the 5 major categories right here,
How many of them are offensive based?
3 of them.
Right. And
Well,
so,
2.5. 2.5.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
assists,
so,
points,
so
and offensive
he's
defensive
beating
rebounds.
him in rebounds and blocks. Both defensive stats.
Okay, and
So we
KD's
said-
beating him at points and assists
I've
and
given
steals.
you that KD is a better offensive player.
Wait, no, but we're talking about the 5 metrics right here. KD has 3 out of 5, right? Yes or no? That's a yes or no question.
But look at
No, not but.
I'm
Answer the question.
not doing this with you.
Answer the question, bro.
You could do this with a bunch of people and say, "Oh, okay, this guy's winning all the offensive categories."
Even steals, though.
Steals is like he's a big man.
But it don't matter, bro.
So-
It don't matter, bro.
So can
You
I say
still-
so if I looked at this, let me see.
I mean, look at field goal
Rebound, steals.
percentages. Look at field goal percentages. All the percentages.
Where's the field goal percentage? That's Tim Duncan is better.
Where was he shooting the ball?
You said, look, I didn't bring this up.
Yeah,
You
I'm
brought
saying
this
look
up.
at the percentages. I'm saying look at the
Tim
percentages.
Duncan is better.
One out of how many?
Huh?
3. KD beats him in free throw, a 3-pointer, and he's 1% back.
Three-pointer don't matter if I'm beating you from the field. The field encompasses both. True or false? Does that not encompass both?
And he
So now
averages.
we're
7.
taking the guy who shoots threes and the guy who does not shoot threes and
No.
comparing them to.
We're just
That's like comparing Kareem to
I'm-
Larry Bird and saying Larry Bird's a better three-point shooter. He's
I'm just
supposed to be.
I'm just comparing the percentages, though. That's all I'm doing. Just like Tim Duncan should shoot better from the field than KD because he shoots inside more than KD does.
Tim Duncan was the king of that 15-footer.
Off the glass.
Hey,
Off
clearly
the
20.
glass.
Hey, 25 points don't beat 32.
I mean, when you add in that defense,
He only
does.
averages 19 points a game.
When you add in the
But
defense,
again, we're
it does.
Now, I think the hard part here is Tim Duncan had some years at the end of his career where he was more of a defensive player than an offensive player. Where he was
But so I'm just saying. So by the eye test,
like his
this is
last
my-
season, he averaged 8 points.
So you take everything out of it. By the eye test, you're looking at KD and you're looking at Tim Duncan. You're not taking Tim Duncan over KD.
This is if I'm looking at both sides. Let me say this. If I'm starting a team,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Tim Duncan over KD.
You're not taking Tim Duncan over.
I am because
You
of
don't
what
even
Tim Duncan
believe
gives you
that, bro.
on the defensive end.
You don't believe that,
If I'm starting from scratch, I have one
bro.
player to
You
build
don't
my
believe
team around.
that. You don't.
Tim
believe
Duncan's a proven winner.
Steven said if he
Cool.
goes into a 24-hour fitness, he's not picking up Tim Duncan. That's what he said.
I'm picking up. When did I say
You're
that, bro?
He said any old average Joe can do it.
Hey.
He does.
KD is 7'2".
Oh, KD's 7 foot, 150 pounds. Tim Duncan got some.
Hey,
Let me say this.
what's that mean?
Let me say this. KD's not sticking Tim Duncan.
And Tim Duncan's not sticking KD. So what are we saying?
I think Tim Duncan would do a much better job sticking KD than KD would sticking Tim Duncan.
Oh my God, here we go again. 19 points a game compared to 27.
Again, we put so when you're talking about averages, and again, this is just in all fairness. Tim Duncan had some years at the end of his career where
Let's just look at their best years then. So we don't have to look at. Let's look at their best years. Not close. It's not close.
It's
Right.
not that egregious though.
Yeah, what are you talking
7
about?
points a game. That's a lot of points. 7
Yeah,
points
so
is
it's-
a lot of points.
So it's
You
5
have to
rebounds.
factor in all of their skills, though.
Okay, so his steals, like I said, 3 out of 5 he has them in.
Okay,
So-
but
So what?
Just because he has the steal edge, like he's nowhere close to the defender that Tim Duncan is.
No, and that's
Okay.
that's the
And
part
he's
you keep
nowhere near
discounting.
the offensive player that KD is. That's my point.
He's much closer to being as good on offense as KD. KD is not a good defender. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
I don't think anybody would classify KD as a good defender.
He's not a bad defender either.
He's much closer
I
to
would
bad
say-
than he is good.
I would say he's an average defender.
I would put a borderline bad.
That's crazy.
And Tim
Tim
Duncan,
Duncan is the most overrated all-time
and Tim
great of
Duncan
all
is
time.
a great defender.
He's the most overrated player of all time.
First time all defense eight times. How many times has KD been first team all defense?
How many times does Tim Duncan have a scoring title? You just said he's not a defender, so obviously we know he's not a defensive player.
Okay. So that's what we're talking about. The difference between
No.
offense and defense.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if Tim Duncan did not have his 5 rings and KD did not have his 2, who's higher on the all-time great list? Take away the team accolades.
I got to give Tim Duncan credit for what he did on defense. He was a great defense. He was
Take
a great
away. No.
He was a great two-way
You're not
player.
listening. You're not. You trying to steer away from the question. If you take away the team accolades, who is higher on the all-time list?
three finals
Three finals MVPs. He's only going to get that because they won the team. The team.
2
championship.
MVPs.
Okay, what does that mean? How many does KD have? KD has 1.
2's more than one. You know
Okay,
that,
how
right?
many scoring titles does Tim Duncan have? How many
Hey,
scoring
you said
titles?
that like that was the
How many-
same.
How many scoring titles does he have?
Scoring titles that's one thing. MVP encompasses everything.
Okay, but it's still a scoring title. What do you mean?
I think an MVP is more important than a score.
I would take an MVP over a scoring title.
And you know what I would take? KD over Tim Duncan, because Tim Duncan is the most overrated, big, all-time great of ever. He's the most overrated player of all time.
No, he's not.
Literally,
His nickname is the Big Fundamental.
I don't think people even argue that Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time anymore.
Yeah,
And I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
you can
says.
literally just say it because he
Okay.
is.
I think if you say greatest power forward of all time, it's synonymous with Tim Duncan. You don't do that with KD.
What is
agree.
KD the greatest at, Steven?
Well,
The
yeah.
great-
What is he the greatest?
The greatest scorer of all time.
He's not the greatest scorer of all time. In
He's
any
the-
way, an
he-
average
I
or
think-
number of points.
in my opinion, he's the greatest scorer of all time. Just like in your opinion, Tim Duncan is the greatest.
No.
power forward of all time.
No, it's a fact.
That's factual.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact. That's an opinion.
It
Because
is
you
a
can ask
fact.
multiple people,
It is
and
a fact.
other people are going to
No,
give you
no,
answers.
hold on. Let me explain what I'm saying is a fact. It is a
What?
fact that Kevin Durant is not the greatest scorer of all time in any way, in average or number of points. He is not the greatest scorer.
Okay, I'm talking about when I say the greatest scorer, he can do everything on the floor. So we have 2 different definitions of the greatest scorer. If we're talking about averages, that's fine. He's
Scorer
not-
means score. That means I put the ball in the hoop.
so he's the best offensive player of all time. Your words.
Oh, yeah, I said best offensive player.
Okay, so that's what he's the best at. So Preston, that's my answer. He's the best offensive player of all time. There you go. That's my answer. Your
But
words,
yeah.
not mine. Your words, not
Yeah,
mine. So you asked me, and you asked me to tell you what the best thing, whether he's
He
the best
said
at all time. KD, he's the best offensive
Actually,
player
he
of all time.
said in regards to his size, he's the most talented. That's what he said.
most talented offensive player.
Okay, so he's the most talented offensive player. That's what he's the best at. There you go. That's my answer.
So he gets a title that has no value. To
Yeah,
it.
no value.
Not necessarily, because we were just
He
talking
gets-
about it. So how can you say that?
He's gonna
very-
get a
he's very
trophy that
talented
says
offensive player.
most
He is
talented.
not, but
For
the
his
best.
size.
I will take most talented offensive player. I will take best power forward of all time over that any day.
Hey, but you know what nobody says about KD that I've never heard? That
What?
he's the most overrated player of all time.
You're the only person I've heard to. So okay, I think KD is the most overrated player.
No, don't
in
say it
the
now. See, now you're just being petty, petty around
I
here.
think he's
said
the most
it in the
overrated
video. I said it in the top 10 video.
So
you
now
know,
that's two. That's two people saying he's the most overrated.
so you know what's crazy? So
So
now
that's
you're,
double.
so Dad, that's crazy because now your credibility goes out the window because you just said he's the best offensive player of all time. So which one is
But
it?
that doesn't mean he's not overrated because he's overrated because of his defensive ability. His
So what about-
inability to play defense makes
He's
him
not a bad
overrated.
defender. He's not a bad defender.
He is a bad defender.
He's an average defender.
He is a bad defender, and that makes him overrated. Because of the fact that you were talking about him being better than Tim Duncan, to me, that makes him overrated.
Hey, I guess
if you rate him over,
I guess they're both overrated.
That is well, two people are saying KD's overrated, so that's double the amount of people that are saying Tim Duncan.
So I guarantee if I go make a Reddit post, I'm not the only one on the road that believes this.
I guarantee that if we
can make that post
with the same group, I guarantee if you said who ranks Tim Duncan over KD, or if you got everybody's list, most people are going to have Tim Duncan over KD.
And so that's perfect. Thank you for saying that. So now guess what?
It's a fact.
You just said wait. So now I'm about to hit you with something. You ready? You said if all of us went and made a top 10 list, and Tim Duncan was higher than Kevin Durant on every list, right? That's what you just said, right? Tim Duncan.
I said most people. I don't know what everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So most people would have Tim Duncan higher than KD.
Yes.
So in my eyes, that means he's the most overrated because he's rated higher than KD. Thank you.
Okay, so that is your point, right?
Yeah, so he's the most overrated.
Right.
So KD can't be the most overrated because he's not anybody else's top 8.
The fact that you think that he should be over Tim Duncan, to me, makes him overrated.
I don't think anyone's gonna
wait. That literally makes no sense. You can't say someone is the most overrated
because I can say no. I can say this is my list, right? And I feel like I've rated everybody appropriately.
Okay.
And then if you have a list where you have Tim Duncan below KD, then I can say KD is overrated
on your list.
Okay, but that's my point. But you just said if we gathered a bunch of people here, Tim Duncan will be higher than KD, right?
Yes.
So how could KD be most overrated compared to Tim
because
Duncan?
If you were to put him above KD,
y'all are literally. That's not what most overrated mean.
Whoever had KD over Tim Duncan, he's overrated on that list.
Exactly, but he's not the most overrated.
Well, who be most?
Tim Duncan.
No, all right. Steven, no one would agree.
Bro, he's higher than KD on everyone else's list.
No one would agree.
Right. Rightfully.
So I feel that he's the most overrated.
So because so you feel he's the most overrated.
That was the question.
And because you rate KD above him,
lower, or higher than Tim Duncan, yes.
Then I think that KD is over the most overrated.
Steven,
technically,
oh my God,
technically, you could call like Michael Jordan and LeBron overrated by this logic.
Yes, you can.
But
you can't. But you can't say. Wrong. But you can't say Allen Iverson is the most overrated player of all time because nobody ranks him that high.
Okay, you could say that based off of people, because again, a majority of people would have Michael Jordan above LeBron. But you have LeBron above Michael. So really your most overrated person should be Michael Jordan.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Why? Because I guarantee more people have Michael Jordan over LeBron than have Tim Duncan over KD.
But so put it this way. Michael Jordan and LeBron, they're very close. If we got 8 people in here, it'd probably be 4-4, 3-5. It wouldn't be 7-1 like it is with the KD one. That's my point. More people have
because it's not.
So if you took 100 people and asked who the best player in NBA history is, I would bet that it's going to be either 50-50, 60-40. It's going to be around there. If you say KD and Tim Duncan, 90 are going to say Tim Duncan and 10 are going to say KD.
There's a reason for that.
Because you're wrong.
Which would tell me that Tim Duncan is more overrated. That's my point.
There's a reason.
It's because
or could just tell you that you're wrong. That 90% of people believe something because maybe it's right.
Yeah, it's because you're wrong. It's not because we're.
Preston, who's the most overrated? Who's the most overrated player of all time?
The guy you're trying to put above Tim Duncan.
But again, so you can't say he's the most overrated if nobody rates him.
I'm saying it because there's people that think that he's in the GOAT debate and he's not. Like,
whoa, who said he's in the GOAT debate?
I mean,
he literally said some people,
Duncan.
Bro.
Name me one person who said KD is the number 1 player of all time.
I'm not gonna name a bunch of
because you can't. Nobody has ever said that. No one has ever said KD's the best player.
I'm sure there's somebody who said that.
If you can't name one, then you can't say that. Some people.
I'm not saying
even relax. You're gonna lose your voice.
No one has ever said that KD's better than. No one that we know. No one on this panel. No one has said that. That KD's the best player of all time. So you can't use that as a basis of an argument.
His point wasn't just his panel. He said that people. He literally said, you don't know
who. Name me one person.
John.
See, you can't name anybody.
John, I just named
Because
him,
we
John.
don't know anybody.
So
But
then
there's
how can
people
you
who
say
come-
that some people do that?
Do you believe? Okay, Steven, do you
Come
believe
on.
that there is a
Steven's the
person?
only one in the world
This
that
one making no
thinks
You
KD
believe
is
there's a
better
person
than
in this
John
world
Stockton.
that would have KD number one? Do you believe that there's?
I
a
believe
person?
there's somebody in the world that would have
Okay.
KD number one.
That's all he's saying.
Okay, but that wasn't my question. How does that make you the most overrated player if only a handful of people believe that?
Because you can't put Kevin Durant over these people, Steven.
Based
Like
on what? What are we basing it on though?
facts.
Based off of championships.
All of their entire career.
So Bill Russell is your number one player of all time.
Steven, we've been over this.
Dude, no, you can't pick and choose. You can't do. You
Yes,
can't
I
pick and
can.
choose.
No, there's a different weight to each of their accomplishments.
Okay, so what makes Tim Duncan a better basketball player than Kevin Durant?
All of his championships have all the more weight for
Okay.
starters.
So then why do you have LeBron over Jordan?
Okay, we're gonna stick to Tim Duncan.
So no. You can't switch the criteria.
No,
That's
I'm
what I'm
not
saying. You
switching
can't
it.
do
I'm
that.
not switching it. I'm just not debating them right now.
Okay, but my point is you have LeBron over Jordan because not of championships, but you have Tim Duncan over KD because of championships.
Yeah, because he does. He was the leader of the team. I didn't even get the.
What does that mean?
was the
Westbrook was the
leader
leader
of
of
the
OKC.
team.
He didn't win a
He
championship.
was the best player on his team.
Okay, so was LeBron.
He was the
And so
best
was Jordan.
defensive player potentially ever.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. You said Tim Duncan is better than KD
No.
because of his championships, right?
You're asking me why Tim Duncan is better than Kevin Durant. He's
And the
had
first thing you
better
said,
career.
the first thing you said was his championships.
No, I said he's undeniably had the better career, Steven.
Okay,
Like,
so
it's not even close.
so he's a better basketball player because he has career accomplishments, is what you're saying.
History will show that yes.
So Bill Russell's a better basketball player than KD because he has better accomplishments.
No, because 15 points is not better than
Neither is 19, Preston. Neither is 19.
okay,
All right,
but
y'all wild. Hey, I gotta go.
Come on, bro. All right, so we'll see y'all next week, bro. Hey, Tim Duncan is the most overrated player of all time. Peace out.
this guy.